Gary King, ever been to the craziness of the Toronto airport? I've been okay, so it's two questions. That one, and then he wanted to ask you about where to place cardio in the workout at the beginning or the end. Take Toronto airport first.
Dude, I've been flying in the Toronto airport for so long that it used to actually be a 20-minute ride before you saw fucking anything from the airport. There was no construction out there. It was like,
what is he refer? He's referencing the craziness of the Toronto airport.
yeah,
Why?
but it's like JFK now. JFK used to be a pretty easy place to get around. LaGuardia was an easy place to get around. Now you land in those places, and they're like Heathrow. That's a half-hour walk from,
Right.
you know, any major metropolitan area. Toronto's grown and grown and grown, and it's like that they just keep. It's not like they. It's not like a. That's one thing people don't get is, though I will say LaGuardia pretty much did. You know, it's not like a baseball stadium where they just build a new one and knock the old one down.
Mm.
You know, they just kind of add on, renovate because it's the structure and the runways that are.
I flew out of Terminal C in Orlando last month, and I don't know if they renovate or if just I'd never been in C. Much
C's
nicer.
New.
Oh, it's new then. Okay,
C's
yeah. I was
new.
going to say it was a much more pleasant experience than I remembered.
Yeah, no, fucking.
Orlando.
That's a shit airport, man.
Yeah.
That's a horrible airport. Oh, this is a great one.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is a great feed. My brother and I were talking, and we were talking about the Trump assassination thing, and he had listened to the show, and he said you were spot on a lot of things. I said thanks. He said my nephew, his son works. He's a police officer in an area, and the area that he's in, I'm not gonna because I don't want him getting any heat or anything, but he was involved when Biden came up there, and he said the Secret Service came up there and had no idea that the area is very Michigan militia, Ku Klux Klan kind of an area. Like they were like, oh really? Yeah. Like this is and in this region it's Ted Nugent's the president. He said that they realized that the airport that they were going to land was too small, so they had to land Biden in Lansing and then fucking take him by motorcade like 50 miles and shut down. And then they come up with this game plan 40 hours before the boat is going to touch ground. And he was just like, man, he goes, if it wasn't for us and the State Patrol and a couple other groups that knew what the fuck we were doing, he said.
So it's like they had no intel. So
yeah. And it's just so I'm thinking to myself, like, and isn't it funny? That Homeland Security thing that was brought on by a fucking bullshit anyway. That's because that's what the Secret Service falls under now is Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland Security. Okay.
Yeah, and I was thinking it was the Treasury, but under further review.
Yeah. That's an interesting side.
I just love the TSA, which is one of my favorites, and how it changes from airport to airport. One of them, you give them your driver's license. The next one, you give them your ticket. The next one, you look into the fucking camera. There's no, and then they look at you like you're batshit crazy if you don't. I'm sorry, I didn't know in Huntsville that you had to fucking draw me on an Etch-a-Sketch before I could get by you. Just didn't know. Yeah, didn't think it would be I thought that'd be a little too time consuming.
It's a federally administered bureau, right? It's not a local thing. So wouldn't you think that the rules? There was one airport I didn't even have to take my shoes off. I feel like it might have been when we went to Nashville, in one direction or the other. They were like, "No, leave your shoes on." I'm in the middle of taking my shoes off because I thought every airport you had to take your shoes off. They were like, "No, leave them on." I feel like it was that. I don't know. Someone.
I'm TSA pre-checked. This is my favorite one. Is you have two options. You've got the old school, just door frame that you walk through, or you got the one where you fucking have to put your feet down and put your hands up and the
Takes the
thing
sir, yeah.
spins around. So again, I'm in Huntsville, and this lady tells me, "Sir, you need to go in the other one." I said, "I've got metal, I've got knee replacement, I've got ankle, I've got shit in my shoulder." I said, "I'm going to go off." She goes, "We can just wand you." I said, if I go in here, I won't have anybody fucking touching me. She says, "You're not going to fit." I'm like, I got 3 fucking million miles on Delta. I fly all the time. Unless you guys ordered the small version of this, but everybody says the same thing. You're not going to fit, you're not going to fit, you're not going to fit. Do you fucking think that I would get into something that I wouldn't fit in? I don't sit and coach. Why
They're
would
a
I go
standard
in?
size, though, right?
Exactly. But the person's telling me
Yeah.
because they don't fly and they're 5'3", I'm not going to fit.
She should apply for Secret Service with that height. I'd imagine she'd.
It's just the stupidity that you have to go through on a daily. That's why we just fucking drop the hurricane shutters and just,
Locked down.
yeah, just stay. I'm fucking more and more a hermit every day of my life.
Well, Click This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Teach, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, if they don't make you get in a scanner that's too small, would you like to do another one?
I don't have a problem with that.